QuickBooks Pro Plus Desktop 2022 OneNote presentation, report fonts and number formatting. Let's get into it with Intuit's QuickBooks Pro Plus Desktop 2022. If you have access to OneNote, would like to follow along, icon left-hand side, topic introductions, 2080 report fonts and numbers tab. Also note, take a look at the immersive reader tool, topic introductions, also in the text area, same name, same number, but with transcripts that can be translated into multiple languages, either listened to or read in them. Same name and number as a presentation as well. Topic introductions designed to give an introduction to the topic, provide screenshots, links when applicable, and accounting background to complement what we cover in the QuickBooks presentations. The links and the screenshots being able to be used to follow along with presentations if you don't have access to the software at that time. Closing the icon on the left-hand side, first screenshot has to do with the balance sheet, or shows the balance sheet. We're looking at the formatting of the fonts and the numbers, which will be the same on pretty much all reports, at least where the location of those options are, which is going to be up top in the customized reports area. You then get this screen. You're going to be on the right-hand side tab, which is the fonts and numbers. You can select areas on the left-hand side to change items of the font, including the type of font that's used, how large the font is going to be, as well as the color of the font, either applying it to the entire report in essence or to a specific line item on the report. Then we have the information on the right-hand side, which is the formatting of the numbers as normal, which has a negative sign in front of it for negative numbers. Parentheses would put parentheses instead of negative numbers. Then you've got the minus sign at the end, which is another format for the negatives. You could put red for the brackets as we're doing here, and then you can remove or divide by 1,000. You can remove the pennies if you so choose and exempt the zero amounts. So if we do some of the formatting here, we've gotten out the parentheses, the red, and so on. Then if we apply that out, you can see this red item right here. That's what the red and bracketed format will be from this fonts and numbers change. You can remove the pennies. That will, of course, take off the pennies, cleaning out the report a little bit nicer to look at. Oftentimes, the pennies possibly not be adding too much value for decision making, so it could be a good thing to do. Dividing then by 1,000, if you have larger numbers, then you could divide by 1,000, similar to rounding and taking off the pennies, in that it'll give you a cleaner look at the financial statements, possibly still giving you enough information for decision-making purposes. So there is a look at that. Then if you had the divide by 1,000 and you added the with cents back, it doesn't add pennies back, but it gives you one more decimal place of numbers divided by 1,000 and then taking one more decimal place of numbers out. Then if we go into the formatting of the fonts, the formatting of each of the categories, we then have the font categories on the left-hand side. We can bold it, regular, and then have your options here. We got the font size. We could strike out. We can underline. We can change the color. When you apply these out, then it'll ask if you want to apply it just to the line item that you selected, or into the final, or to the whole report. And if you choose just the font that you selected, for example, we change the header columns here. You could see that it could change those columns and give you some formatting and customization options, which can help you to stand out if you're good at doing these types of things, although you don't want to overdo it. Now we're applying a red font here, so we apply the red, and we applied it just to the left-hand side, to the accounts and the asset, liability, and equity names. We then applied the blue to the middle. We've come up with a very, most likely, pretty ugly report to most people, but we're not experts at the formatting of them. If you are an expert at the formatting, like Steve Jobs was obviously someone that thought that the font and the colors were quite important, and he was right about that. So if you can customize your reports in such a way that they are appealing or unique to you, adding value, that could be a way to differentiate yourself, and you do have some options in QuickBooks to do so.